I am talking about the co-founder and CEO of Intelligems, a crusher of the internet in all that we do in e-commerce. Drew, we need you inside the show. Get in here, sir. Get in here. Yeah.
Go.
Let's go.
Oh, Cowboy boots, but I got
there we go. Hey, I love it, man. And that mustache is very befitting. We appreciate you having that thing ready to go.
I grew it out just for this. I've been waiting 4 years. My wife was like, someday you're going to get on Ecomm Cowboy.
That's right. That's right.
I'll let you grow it.
A wise woman she is.
Yeah.
Drew, man, this conversation has been a long time coming, and we appreciate you getting on here. Man, I when I think of CRO inside of our space, I think of you, and I think of all that you guys have done with Intelligems. But I'll just say my piece here. I think everybody knows they need to be split testing and A/B testing, et cetera. And they're like, let me change a button. Let's fancy up the PDP a little bit,
let's move things around.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think at the end of the day, that's probably driving meaningful revenue for the various businesses that marketers are involved in. And if you would, I'd appreciate if you just take a step back and give us perspective on what's like old kind of historical CRO thought. And then what are you guys doing today that's really driving growth, experimentation for businesses inside of our industry? If you could just kind of, put those in black and white and we could start there, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So this is like an 8-hour-long show, right?
Yes, it is. We'll go as long as you want.
Man, big question. Okay. I mean, I'll give you we take everything you've been able to do with CRO before, and our point is like, hey, you've been looking at this little slice of how to make more profit. We're going to help you do that, but then go way beyond. Test beyond what's typical, do more. So the long version, I don't even know when CRO started. I would say the modern era of CRO, probably since about 2010. Like Optimizely came on the scene. Self-serve A/B testing, people are getting volume of traffic online. Great. Like last time, people are like, everyone should be testing. Whole bunch of challenges that we're still dealing with today of people not running things to stat-sig and all that fun stuff. But that really, I think brought experimentation to the mainstream. It wasn't just something that your data scientists are doing back in the closet somewhere. And I think for a long time, it was focused on getting people to convert. So I need leads to convert. I need people to get through this flow. I need to get more signups. I need to get more leads. In e-commerce, it was, hey, I need to get more people to check out.
Right.
And I think in e-commerce, kind of what Meta was doing to allow you to go find customers from anywhere was so revolutionary. People weren't even doing CRO in a lot of e-commerce till the mid 2010s, because it was like, let me just focus on finding ways to dump more money into this magic money machine.
Yeah.
People will come out, traffic comes. I don't even need to worry about what happens when that traffic lands to the site. It just needs to be good enough. And a few things I think evolved. So it's very fashionable. We do this too, but I'm sure if you go onto CRO, Twitter, or LinkedIn in some way today, someone's like, conversion rate's a dumb metric. Like this whole thing is a misnomer. That's kind of known. That's been known for 10 years. Yes, it's not just conversion rate. We need to be looking at revenue per visitor. Okay, great. We can get a ton more people to convert if we charge nothing, but then our revenue is going to go down. And, it's still surprising how often people get wrapped up in conversion rate, but that was big transition one. Hey, we're going to optimize for revenue, not just conversion rate. And so we need to think about average order value and get people to click in and do all these things. And a lot of that was very fine-grained UX work. So changing button colors, building interactions, changing UX. We've seen a major convergence of shopping UX patterns. That's thanks to Shopify. They've gotten everyone on similar structures. I mean, the fact Shopify checkout converts better now because customers know what to expect with Shopify checkout.
That's a good point.
And, you know, like there have been themes that have done really well and convert super well. And so the convergence isn't bad. Like everyone wants to be unique in their own way, but a lot of the what's the best way to lay out information for people to buy stuff online, there's not as huge gains as there were a decade ago when you had stores that were just like pretty unusable. Also, the infrastructure is better, so like things generally work. 10 years ago, your CRO practice may discover that there's just a ton of broken buttons on your site. And like that still happens. It still sucks. It like harms you from capturing revenue, but that low hanging fruit is gone. So, you know, like there's still this, I think it's easy to say, oh, you're just changing button colors. You're moving things around. That's not that powerful. Like for a time that was, but like the alpha from that has gone down. Fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to have a future now because I mean, otherwise Intelligems would be out of business. You know, you know, that's all. If the internet has been solved, but you're still doing very well, so there's got to be a new playbook.
It's an evolution. So, my background is actually from the ride-sharing industry. So I was doing my co-founder dynamic pricing for rideshare. How do we build surge algorithms? How do we figure out the right discount to give people in their life cycle? Like, how do we just price infinite SKUs? And the way that we've tweaked those algorithms was with testing. And where's price elasticity and what discounts should we give? Like, it was kind of this constant battle of where can we go take margin, increase price with the least impact on growth, and where can we go give back margin in the form of discounts or lower prices to get the most growth in return? That was kind of the big one. And we saw how core pricing and discounting was to that business. We'd make shifts, and the next day we see a huge difference in our profitability, our growth, our unit economics. And when we came into e-commerce in 2021, we're like, okay, so how's everyone price testing in Shopify? Like, how are y'all like figuring out what discounts to get? And they're like,
exactly.
We guessed this price. Yeah, that was my first pitch deck. There was like a photo of SpongeBob doing this. Like, I talked to 100 brands, and this is how they set prices.
That's totally the case. That's totally true.
Yeah, and it worked, you know, because acquisition was cheap. So and inflation was next to nothing. So it was like, I picked this price 5 years ago. It works well enough. Why would I ever change it?
Yeah. And
you guys have been in this space for a while. The last 5 years, it is just a never-ending parade of increases to your cost.
That's right.
Of course. Acquisition goes up. Okay, great. Yeah. Now we've got stimulus checks. It's all great again. Oh shit! But now, like, containers from China cost $25,000. Costs are back up. Now there's inflation because of those stimulus checks. So customers are like uncertain, and now your labor is more expensive, and UPS and FedEx are just keeping the surcharges. So it has just been like an assault on the P&L while capital dries up for these businesses. So you have to stand on your own. You have to be profitable. You can't be like taking on VC or debt to drive future growth. And everyone just has to be much more operationally rigorous. And so the shift now, in our mind, is like profit-based optimization. So, okay, it's not conversion rate, it's revenue. That's kind of the like old cool thing to say. Now it's not revenue, it's profit optimization. And so it may make sense to raise the price. Your conversion rate is going to drop. Your total revenue may drop, but your total profit may gain. Maybe lowering your prices, actually, you capture a ton more demand. Your unit margin goes down, but is that making up for your fixed cost? You're ending up with better profit. And so that's been kind of our take. We started strictly with price testing. Like, we asked people, what do they want? You want some fancy algorithm that like solves the price? Like, no, I just want to know if this jacket should be like $80, $90, or $100. Let me test it. But we start testing that, and I'll end here soon. People are like, well, now I changed the price. I got to go, like, what should happen to my shipping threshold? Can you guys help me with the shipping fees? And then we do that, and they're like, well, now my welcome offer, the 10% is now worth like $15.
Yeah.
It's too big a discount. Can we test the discounts?
Yeah.
And then like now, it's like, all right, to really impact profit, we got to go test the whole page. And so we'll still do the bulk button colors and the UX. Nate would sit here and argue like headline can be extremely powerful, and I'm not going to argue with him. But it is that entire tableau of the prices, the offers, the discounts, the shipping, the selling points, the imagery, the copy that need to work together to find this right mix of selling more, like doing more transactions, selling bigger transactions, or selling more profitable transactions. And so that's like, I think our contribution is, hey, there's a lot more to test than just on this page. And we've been super lucky with timing and like, well, what are you going to do if your profitability is under attack? Like you got to go experiment your way through it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was probably the longest monologue in the history of Ecomm and Cowboy.
Well, I'm glad that you gave it, Colin. I don't think that I knew that Drew had such a deep background in like dynamic pricing and ride sharing, like bringing that brain to what we do online, web pages, offers, headlines. I mean, all of that makes so much sense to me. Did you know that, Colin? I mean,
I did not. It
awesome.
Makes total sense, and it makes sense for how you're thinking about it now, where it's basically not omni-channel, but omni website. So you're affecting the entirety of the website. It's not just, can we change the button from red to green and call it a day? And that's just that's your test. It's the entire website. You're affecting the entire customer journey, nuts to bolts.
And we may still decide to test that. This is my co-founder's like big swings only. And I'm like, you don't really know. If we knew what a big swing was in advance, like there's kind of no reason to test. Like maybe you're changing your branding and it does make sense to test green on the button. And like, that's part of your bigger strategy. We'll do that, but we're no longer constrained to just these like user experience questions, which are less interesting than they were a decade ago.
Yeah. How are you thinking about how people should think about their brand as far as testing? So you reiterate a lot on price. I'm sure there are other options for testing. What immediately comes to mind with me is bundling and bundling options and total volume on which you bundle. Is there anything that you think the best operators in the world are thinking about from this perspective, where they need to always be testing these certain criteria?
The thing I think everyone should do is actually understand your strategy. What would unlock your business? Like, what are the rate limiters on your business? Is it AOV?
Yeah.
Is it conversion rate? Is it getting more people into subscriptions? Like, what do you need to launch a new product line and get people to adopt it? Like, it's got to start from company strategy. There's no like optimization strategy in and of itself. It gets you towards a certain goal. Now, that said, driving AOV is a extremely relevant one that is almost always going to be important for an e-commerce brand. Like, I was reading today in the Wall Street Journal, they had a super interesting article about shipping costs and how consumer preferences are changing. You have like the FedEx CEO talking about like, I don't want to ship t-shirts anymore. And, that's like a lot of cost pressure from shipping. And, the way that works in your P&L is like, it doesn't really cost that much more to put more stuff in the box or make it heavier.
Sure.
And so as you get a larger AOV, great, that shipping line item stays the same. We can like build a more profitable order. And so the best operators I see, we work with a couple of the folks on 9 operators and 9 marketing operators. It's like upsells. Where do I put the free shipping threshold? How do I use free gifts? How do I like introduce people to other product lines on the PDP in the cart? That is just a constant stream of testing. They're doing other things, but that entire process for how I get people, like de-risk it for people to buy more up front, they're always spending time on that. Just gets you cash, makes the orders more profitable. And bundling may be part of that. There's a ton of different ways to approach it.
Yeah.
Man, I think what you're saying here, Drew, I think there's a whole swath of D2C businesses that need to hear this, especially those who are, let's say they're earlier in the kind of 8-figure range, definitely anybody in the 7-figure range. I think a lot of times this thought for, hey, how can we vary and test these different offers? How can we price this product? Hey, how can we bundle or unbundle this? What can we do with shipping? It's like not even in the conversation yet. And
Yeah.
I know just because I talked to them,
Yeah.
the whole question is always and only nearly, I need to get this CPM down. I
Yep.
need to get this CPA down. Like,
Yep.
and let me try more and different ads to make that happen. I feel like this conversation is still yet to be had. What you're saying for a whole swath of our industry. Do you find that to be the case? I think this is still largely not inside of our consciousness yet.
Yeah.
I like the amount of effort that goes into optimizing ad accounts and tweaking them and trying to get traffic to the site as efficiently and effectively as possible, which is important work.
Yeah, of course.
If you compare the amount of thinking and money into tooling and time spent optimizing that tooling versus then the effort, money, time, tooling that goes into converting that traffic profitably once they land on the site, it is night and day. But like,
Yeah,
they're two sides of the same coin, right?
Exactly.
How can I make my meta spend more efficient?
Yeah,
Well, I can tweak a bunch of shit
that's right.
on my ad account, important.
Yeah.
Or I can try to get an extra $1 of profit from every visitor who lands on the site with a better offer, a better site experience, better shipping rate, better price. And that flows back to your ad efficiency. Like, yes, Meta reports on CAC, there's a black box, but like somewhere in that calculation, you're paying for traffic.
Yeah.
And like, the more effectively you're able to convert it into profit, the more effectively you're going to be able to scale on the ad side. So I think it's happening. I think people are coming around to it. Like CRO, I think is honestly more popular than ever. Google Optimize was this free tool. It shut down in 2023. I think more people are testing now, even though that tool is gone, than before. And I think that's partially because there's more people talking about it. I think it's like people feel the pressure on profitability.
Yeah, they do.
But then still, so many of the accounts I pull open, it's like changing stuff around on the PDP. It's like, have you even where's your traffic going? Is your traffic hitting this PDP, or should we be working on the collection pages because that's where you're driving folks?
I would say, we talk a lot about premier media buyers, and you have kind of this handful of guys that are the premier media buyers, and you know who you are. We don't have to say who they are. They're very good at it. And, we mentioned a little bit about Nate on the show. He's very good at testing. Do you have kind of in your back pocket the premier testing guys, where these guys are unbelievable at testing? Everybody should know who they are. They don't get their flowers enough. And what they're doing with the brands that they're operating is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think we know a handful of who those folks are in-house, and then also who the agency folks are that go and look at this and do it all day. And like, a couple things that they share in common: they're really backed in research. They're not just coming in and let me play around with this PDP and just copy the best practices I saw on Twitter today. It's like, all right, what's your customer want? Let's look at the ads. What are we promising? What are people saying in surveys? Let's go look at your data. Where are people dropping off? What are your AOV spreads like? What profits are profitable and unprofitable? Like, they're coming in with that strategy first.
Yeah.
They do a good job of infusing best practices, but then it is just a rigorous focus on moving the metrics that matter. So okay, for me, AOV is everything. That's the rate limiter on my business. I am going to make sure I always have something running to do that. Because another huge mistake is just you let time go by without testing. Like, traffic is budget for your tests. Yeah. Any day you don't have a test running, you are wasting that budget that would otherwise be learning for you.
It's a great point.
That's heat.
It's you don't need to be a genius. You can just work really hard and make sure you're not wasting budget, and probably be in the 80th percentile if you're focused on a metric and you just stay consistent with it.
Wow.
Drew, I would love if you would put a little teeth on some of this, because as I'm listening to this, I know, of course, for myself, but also I'm thinking of a number of operators, founders, marketers inside my space who they're going to hear this. They're going to think, okay, I don't want to waste my traffic budget. Let me get in here and let's start. Man, I'd love if you give some teeth on and brands you guys are working with that they did this and they saw this. Like I was looking, Jackson, I know is working with you guys. And I'd love if you give some perspective on that, and then talk about somebody wants to get rolling, get started. Like what's, maybe they're nervous. Like maybe I'm not as steeped in research. Like, what do I do? How do I start? But put some teeth on this for us, if you would.
Great. I mean, there's a long list. I think it's like 2,500 brands now are on the platform. Jackson's story is really interesting. Like they learned that they had a lot less competition at different price scales in the market, and different price points would like dramatically change the demand and in a way that changed conversion rate, but also change who they could reach in meta. So that story's on our site. I think we've worked with Ridge for a long time, back since they were just wallets. And I think that their focus on AOV driving, I mean, they have run so many tests on cross-sell and upsells, has generated, I won't share exact numbers, but like pretty great results. And
Significant.
An amazing job of introducing new product lines. And they're doing some super interesting stuff with personalizing, hey, what free gift, what promo should I offer you to get you to experiment with one of our other product lines? True Classic has worked with us. I mean, we've worked with them for years. They were one of our earliest customers and really pushed us hard to improve the platform. A lot of their work on bundling, it's t-shirts, but there are so many different ways to sell t-shirts, from create your own packs, pre-built packs. How many different volume discounts can I do? Is there a membership option? Can I give you gifts? Again, to introduce new product lines. We've worked with Jones Road on a lot of things. Kind of free gifting has been a big strategy for them because you have minis and sampling, but then with accessories like that, a quiz is deeply involved. Or like Dave Rekuch, one of the smartest customers we have, like also in skincare. Both those guys has been, what can I gather in a quiz, and then where do I drive people, and how do I understand both like what gets people to convert, what's the AOV. Cody with Jones Road has done some international strategy as well, because talk shipping costs in the US, like, all right, getting it abroad is a very different game. And so how should we approach that? And so we found some gains there. I mean, those are just the ones on our website, because I know they're down with me sharing them, but yeah, I mean, there's kind of like people getting wins every day.
It seems like there's just so many more levels to what one can do and what one should be testing on this front. And it's just there's so much more to this that I'm taking away from this conversation. Let's just say
in terms of getting started, I'll go back to your thing. I mean, like, there's a handful of ways you can do it, right? You can talk to us. We'll give advice. Can put you in touch with agencies we work with who are great. You could even DIY it. Go give your phone with your website to someone not familiar. Give it to your mom.
Yeah.
Give it to your friend. Be like, what's not clear here? What do you think we do? What do you think we sell? Because your website's a sales mechanism, right? It's just like, it's a concrete salesperson. See what questions come up. See where there's confusion. You want to get fancy, add a survey, use something like no commerce at the end. But you're gonna you do that with 5 people, you're gonna notice a couple trends. Like, oh, this question's coming up a lot. How can I get in front of that? How can I pre-answer that? And from there, it's like, all right, what page does this come up on? Is there traffic there? What do I want to try? Featuring a review? Do I just want to change the language? And then you can have that test launched, and launching the test takes 30 seconds. You just build a different template and you spin it up in Intelligems. But I also don't think it's this hugely gate kept knowledge about what to test. The other thing people can do, I think, is download heat map or Clarity and just get some insights about where there are drop offs. Throw it all into Claude, see what ideas that comes up with. It's pretty good from our testing. we're bullish on, an agent is going to be able to get you going pretty quickly, like probably this year.
Sure.
But yeah, just try something. There's nothing like that feeling of like launching a test and then seeing the data come in.
Wow.
The rush. It's an absolute rush.
It is. It's a little bit of like, oh, fuck, I hope I didn't mess anything up. We're allowed to curse here.
Yeah, we are.
There is a bit of a gut wrench the first hour. You're like, oh, man, I hope this works right. Or data does flow in within 5 seconds, so you'll know pretty quickly.
Sure.
But yeah, then it's like, make a bet with your friend. Put your money where your mouth is.
That's exciting. I mean, I confessedly, I need to do more on this front. And also I would like there to be some AI agent that's just saying, hey, Chris, you should be doing this. Why are you not doing that? Just to check for blind spots. I mean, but it sounds like that's coming forth. Like that could be in actuality in 2026. Is that fair?
Yes. I mean, if anyone wants to talk about what that looks like, we're working on some things. Reach out because we're looking for beta customers and beta conversations.
Sauce.
I think there's a lot of like AI audits out there. I've gone through them all. It's all kind of following a script. It just gives you the same stale recommendations. So we're working on something that like I think is going to be pretty sick. It actually uses your data, pulls in best practices, but like looks at the ad library, looks at the selling points, looks at where people are falling off, and brings some pretty strong perspectives to the table.
Yeah.
So yeah, would love to chat with anyone who's interested in that. I think it is coming, and definitely like a tool we're gonna make available to our agencies to help them. They're kind of first users, like let them scale themselves.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of cool shit cooking with AI. I mean, for our power users, there's like a whole bunch of AI APIs being made available, like an MCP server that people are doing wild stuff with to make their testing more efficient.
Well, Drew, we're going to have you back and talk more as that all rolls out, man. We appreciate you making the time and joining us, man. Give us 10 seconds here, man. People want to find you. They want to start working with you. Where do they go? What do they do next?
Great. Looks like you have my handle at the bottom. So that's my Twitter handle. You can find me on LinkedIn too. Post generally the same stuff there. We're Intelligems.io. There's options to like talk with us on the website. And yeah, if you want to like chat about that agentic stuff, I'm Drew at Intelligems.io. So feel free to reach directly out.
Incredible. We appreciate you joining us, man. We look forward to having you back.
See you soon.
Wow.